Hello there, I'm Dave from Dynobike, and just beside me is the beautiful Aprilia Tuono V4 factory. It's the Euro 5 spec version, and I'm just reading out the stock ECU file, which seems to be taking a fair while on this one. We've got about 26 minutes still to run. So while I'm doing that, I thought I'd just chat to you briefly about what we're going to do on this one, which is to fit an Akrapovic half system. Half system will remove the catalytic converter. We're also going to take out the exhaust valve, and then we'll put it on the dyno, make a tune file for it, and then we will compare that with the full system that we did on one of these earlier. You've probably seen the video. If you haven't, go and have a look, check it out. Pretty impressive results we got with that one on the dyno. Massive improvement in the mid-range in particular, and even I was pretty impressed with that one, which is pretty hard to fathom, I know. But anyway, we will crack on now and get on with the job of prepping this file, and then fit the exhaust, and then go and tune it to suit. Okay, so we have the exhaust, the original exhaust that we're looking at here now. The exhaust valve is actually tucked up in under this front cover here, as you can see. So we're going to take that off. The cables that are running from this go all the way here and down here, and then over to here where our exhaust actuator is. I'll just zoom in on that a little bit for you. Right, first thing you want to do is take this heat shield off. I've already loosened these bolts, as you can see. Now you can get a better look at these cables and the exit valve. So now I'll grab a spanner, undo these, take these cables off. Okay, I can't quite get this little nipple out of the pulley there, so we'll just get a screwdriver, poke it down in there so we can push it out. There we go, one out. Two out. Now what we can do from here is just thread this all the way through and pull it out the front when we take the exhaust valve motor out. So let's go to the exhaust valve and pull it out from there. Right, so you've got to get this cover off first. There is a screw here which is actually missing on this one. There's also another one. If we look up underneath there, you see there's a screw in here. I'll just point to it, it's there. And around the front we have, right, you can see there's these little buttons. And there's one there, there's one there, and there's one. And there's also one down below it there. You can just see it. We've got to flick those little buttons out to release it. And then we should be able to pull this cover off. So okay, so the servo motor is just located in here. I've already loosened off these bolts, as you can see, just to make it a little easier for me to demonstrate. And we've got the cables are loose. The cables are coming up through here and down onto the top of the servo motor. So I'm going to undo this bolt. And that one. this cover, this one, has got 3 bolts. 1, 2, 3. On the other side of the bolts are nylock nuts, so you'll need a 10mm ring open ender to get onto those, to loosen them, remove them, and take this cover off. So as I said, I've loosened mine. I'm just going to take them right off now, pull those bolts out. Right, this little cover is actually going to go back on because it's got this plug mounted on it for a start. So we'll leave that on when we're finished removing the servo. So let's see if we can, yes, those cables are moving, goody. On the bottom here is our connector and has a little locking tab on it. We have to release the locking tab and then it will come out. And that locking tab is that little black button right there. You can hear it click. It's now released it. Alright, I should be able to pull it off, just like that. Beautiful. Now I'm going to see if I can thread this cable all the way through. In fact, comes out of there. That one's quite deep in there. There it is. And servo motor is now off. So all that's left to do now is thread this cable through, and I might actually thread it through from this end and go back that way, because I think there's less of this stuff to interfere with anything on its way through. So I'll pull that out and then we can just tie that back in there with our bolts like that. Tidy this little bit of wiring up, put it in the back, cable tie it, and that is done. Now we can take the original muffler off and fit the Akrapovic muffler. Right, next to come off is break it down there, 13mm bolt, 6mm cap screw there. It's got a nut on the other side of it. Give this a little wriggle. If it's really sticking on yours, put some lube just down in there, just a penetrating or something. That will help loosen it off. There we go. Muffler's off. Almost ready to put the tailpipe on, but before we do, there's a clamp that has to go on first. The clamp's actually got a little, as you can see there, it's got a little tag on it, which is going to attach the spring, because on the other end, on our tailpipe end there, it's got this little tag here, and we're going to connect the spring from the other one to this one here when this goes on. So, on that, it's going to go, oops. So that tag, see, that's facing the wrong way. We actually want that tag facing that way. Go on there like that. Helps if I put the screw in from the right side. other side. I'm just going to leave that like that for now, because we'll have to position it so that the spring has got a tiny bit of tension on it once this tailpipe goes. I'm going to have my clamp so the bolt's at the top, just makes it a bit tidier than having it at the bottom or on the side there. Head up the top. You can decide which way you want yours. And again, I'm going to leave that loose for the moment too, because I need to get the muffler on and put the strap or clamp around the muffler, get that set first before I go tightening this, because it might be like that or it might be like that. Now in this kit there is a black spacer there on there, which normally if this was an RSV we would use this on the clamp and it would go on the inside of the clamp like that, but the Tuono doesn't need that, so we're not going to use it. Instead we use the standard bolt that's come off the original muffler. Slide this over here, careful not to scratch the carbon. Put it on there. Now I'm going to tighten this muffler up because that's in position. Now I need to go back down to the clamping area, tailpipe clamps, have another look at that. And I'm just going to come and walk in a little bit closer so you get a better look at it. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do up is this one. Now I've got this little clamp on here, it's got that spring tag on it. I just want to have to go around the other side now, see if that lines up, and also see whether our distance this way is enough, and if it's not, adjust it. Please don't over tighten the screw here, it's only a 5mm or 4mm screw. Doesn't need to be excessively tight. You don't have to keep squeezing this up till you've got those two touching. It's just ridiculous. In fact, it probably won't go that far. You'll end up with a strip bolt. And just enough so that it's clamping. And you see where my spring is almost lined up. It's just in front of that tag, right? That's perfect. Here we go. That's done. I'm pretty happy with that. Sounds good, looks good. There's no exhaust leaks anywhere. I'm happy with the way everything lines up. So now we will put it on the dyno, do some runs, have a look at the tune, make some adjustments and tune it to suit.